Okay, so today again we're going to talk about the basics of Excel. Let's just basically generally talk about Excel for a moment. Excel is what we call a spreadsheet software. The first one was kind of called Lotus 123. Anybody heard of Lotus 123? Back in the early computer days, the spreadsheet was probably the most popular program out there. It's what made the desktop computer a desktop computer. Because people needed to do both typing, right? They needed to type. We had a word processor. But they also needed to do business analysis, right? Business spreadsheets. I need to have a piece of software to store my business data. And so back in the early days, the first spreadsheet software was called Lotus 123. Here, let's look it up. It was called Lotus. 123. There it is. Lotus 123. It was invented in Boston back in the early days of the computer, and it was the first kind of spreadsheet software. Lotus 123. We can look it up in the encyclopedia. Lotus 123 is a spreadsheet program from Lotus Software, now part of IBM. It was the IBM PC first killer application. It was hugely popular in the 1980s and contributed significantly to the success of IBM PC. Okay. And of course, Mac had the VALIC help launch the Apple II. So again, spreadsheet software, businesses needed a way to store data, analyze data. The greatest thing about a spreadsheet software is it can do calculations, right? You can put the data in there and it can do calculations, but we're going to use it to make charts. Okay, so we're going to make and do all kinds of different spreadsheets, and once we're done making the spreadsheets, we can output them as charts and things like that. As you can see here, Lotus 123 has been discontinued long time ago. But I remember when the Lotus 123 came out. That's how old I am. Okay. Today we use, of course, Microsoft has a spreadsheet software called Excel, but of course Google has Google Docs, which has a spreadsheet. You use Google Docs. So either way, they both do the same thing. You input data, analyze the data, and output the data. So let's get to Excel. So hopefully you have a plain spreadsheet. First thing I want you to show you is that it's called a workbook. Workbook at the top up here. See how it says workbook? And we're going to save our file by going under File, Save As, File, Save As, and I'm going to call my workbook. This is going to be my grade point average, or maybe put my name on it. Grade. And notice the extension for an Excel file. I'm going to put it on the desktop. If you're in the Mac here, you notice there's an arrow in the upper corner here. If you click on that, it'll open up bigger, and you can hit desktop. Notice the extension for Excel is .xlsx. Do you see that? Yes?
Is the name of the file, or what are you naming it?
We're making your grade point average, so you can name it whatever you want. You put your name, grade, or something. I put my name, underscore grade. Remember, don't put spaces in names. I usually see how I put an underscore? Try to avoid spaces. Now, nowadays spaces are okay when you're naming a file, but a lot of times in the old days, Windows had problems with spaces in the name because of DOS days. Notice the extension though again. This is on the test. There's a question on not this test, the next test, the second test. This is .xlsx. So there's a question on the test that asks what's the extension of an Excel file, and your answer will be .xlsx. Write that down. So there is a question on the test that asks you what the extension is. It's an easy answer. Notice if I click there, there's a variety of other formats that are in there. We'll talk a little bit about some of them in there. Specifically this one, the CSV. Do you see that one? So as I look in my list here, under Format, there's other formats of how the data can be saved. And one of the ones I use a lot is called this one. I use this one a lot. It's called CSV. It stands for comma separated values. Comma separated C for comma. Oh, there it is. Comma separated values. It even tells you what it says right there. I use this one to take Excel data and put it somewhere else. If I want to take what I do in Excel and put it on a web page, I use CSV. If I want to take what I do here and put it into another program, I can sometimes use CSV. It's a common way of sharing data, this one. But of course, the default one is XLSX, if I could say that. So I'm going to save this. Save it. Save. Next thing, so that was the name up here. See, it's right up here, name's up there. Next thing I want you to notice is down here towards the very bottom left corner, you'll notice it says Sheets. Sheets. You can have more than one spreadsheet, and the word sheet is a term that's used to describe how you're building this, okay? And you can have more than one sheet. If I click the plus button down there, click the plus button right here next to the word sheet, it'll actually make another one. And so you can actually have more than one going at the same time. You can jump back and forth between them. See that? And I'll show you how to name them. You can rename by right-clicking on it and renaming it. So I'm going to right-click on there and say rename. Right-click on the word that says sheet 1 and say rename, and you can give it a name. This is going to be my grade point average, right? Or my grade. So I'm going to right-click on where it says sheet 1 down here. Right-click and say rename, and I'm going to call it grade. How about that? Grade. Again, you can have more than one sheet, and you might have several sheets. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to make several spreadsheets, and we'll have the charts on one sheet, we'll have the data on another sheet, and so on and so on. Does everybody see that? So let's move on. Excel is broken up into rows that go across that are numbered and columns that are letters. And so as we put things together or we make formulas, we reference the actual column and row name for the formula, right? This would be A1. Notice I click on A1, just click on it. Notice it says A1 right here. A1, A1. So when we do formulas and calculations, we do those formulas and calculations by referencing the location of where the data needs to be, okay, between the rows and columns. If you want to put data inside, and this is called a cell, these are called cells, where the rows and columns come together, they're called a cell. In this case, if you want to put data in a cell, you can either click inside the cell or you can click over here and it'll go into the cell. So again, here's the name of the cell, there's a little box, there's a little input box right here, as well as in the cell. So the first one is, let's put our name on there. So let's go in there and I'm going to type in, I can click right here and I can type in my name. Notice the data is bigger than fitting in the box right here. Do you see that? I put in Jeff Raskoff's grade, and as I put it in A1 here, you'll notice it's bigger than what you can see. So there's ways to make the columns bigger and the rows bigger. You can either do it by hand or you can have Excel calculate how big the column needs to be to fit the entire word. In addition, you can have the word wrapping. You notice there's this thing right here. If you know the word wrap, W-R-A-P, wrap, what that means, like when you're in a word processor, right? When you're typing in a word processor, you're type, and all of a sudden, boom, it goes down to the next line automatically, right? That's what the word wrap means, R-A-P, wrapping. Excel, it has the same thing right now. If the word is too big for the cell, you can turn wrapping on and it'll put the second, words, it'll make them so that there's more than one line. That make sense? Wrapping, okay. Or if my text doesn't fit in there, this is what I could do. I could put my cursor between the A and the B right here. See my cursor between the A and the B? And I can, oh, no, there. I'm sorry. I don't know why you want to get this cursor that has arrows go pointing in both directions. See that right there? And you can simply drag that bigger if you want, so it doesn't go over top. So again, you can drag your column bigger or smaller. Bigger or smaller. If it's too much data in that cell, you can go to where it says wrap and say wrap text, and it'll shift it down. So again, you can drag it bigger. You saw me between the A and the B, drag it bigger. Or click on it, and did you see where it said wrap text right here? See where it says wrap text right here, wrap text. You can say wrap text, and boom, do you notice the word grade went down to the second line?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very simple, basic. I know some of you know Excel, but I'm going over the basics for us who are just starting. You can change the font and color and all that stuff to your text if you want. That is kind of small. Hey, I'm important. My grade is important, so I'm going to change it and make it bold and bigger and stuff like that. Notice you have font options right here, font options right here. So you can change the font if you want inside that cell right here. Oh, remember we downloaded aliens. We could put aliens in there, no? We did do that, didn't we? No. We don't want aliens in there. How about Arial Black? That's a nice big bold one. And we maybe make the text a little bigger. And I might need to make my cell a little bigger. There we go. That's starting to look good. So I changed the size of the text. I made a really bold text. And if you want to change the color, you can change the color of the cell or the color of the font. This is the cell color if you want. And this is the font color if you want. Whoosh, that's pretty ugly. There we go. Whoosh. There we go. So try that. Again, very basic way of adjusting. You got select a cell. We have data in it. We got font. We got size. This is the cell color, the box color, and this is the font color. So in addition to having text and things like that, you can actually put images in there. So in this case, what if this was my actual grade and you know, I'm a student, I'm at a school. Maybe there's a picture that's associated with this document. So we can bring in an image. So I'm going to go find an image and I'm going to bring it into Excel. So let's go find an image. I'm going to go find a person. So I'm going to go to the internet. Just leave this going here. I'm going to go back to Firefox at the bottom here, and let's type in. Let's go to Google and look for a picture of somebody to bring into Excel. So maybe I'm going to find my picture. Where's images? Images. Images. There we go. Images. Woo! I get images all over me, don't I? Look at that. And the people that want to be me. This guy wants to be me. This guy wants to be me. This guy wants to be me. These all people want to be me. Tomomi. Petra. She came to the pottery sale. Petra. She bought 3 pieces. No, I think she won. Okay, find a picture. Anybody. It can be anybody. It can be a celebrity. You don't use mine. Oh, there's the dinosaur. Remember I told you I went to Netscape headquarters and I got my picture next to the dinosaur? Woohoo! It was like 1997, I think. Here's my LinkedIn portrait. Whoosh. Okay, I'm going to download this picture or copy it. Copy image. Right click on it, say copy image. Let's go back to Excel. And let's click in a cell and say edit, paste. And there it is. Woo. If you save it first, let me delete that. If you save it instead, because I just copied and pasted from the internet. But let's say you have a picture on your computer. Let me download this. I'm going to save this image as. I'm going to save image as. I'm going to put it on my computer. If you have a picture saved, again, to save it, right-click, save image as, save it on your computer. I just put it on the desktop. Save your picture if you want. I saved my picture. I go back to Excel to input that picture, and I'm going to put it in here. I go to the cell I want to put it in, and I go under Insert Photo, Picture from File. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Hold on, let me try again. Insert photo, picture. Oh, you don't have the I-bar going. Just select the cell. Just select the cell. Go Insert Photo, Picture from File, and I put my picture on the desktop and insert your picture. There it is. You can scale it if you put your cursor along the side, and once you bring a picture in, notice you can actually scale it smaller if you want. Do you remember the different options? Remember we had different frames inside of Microsoft Word? Remember doing that? You can do the same thing. Remember doing these different things? So when you have a picture, you can change the size of it, as well as you can give it border color and things like that. So get yourself a picture in there that we can use. You can put a frame around it if you want, and then save your file. So you should have a name and a picture. Name and a picture. And you want to take a little break now? Let's take a little break while we are. Okay, again, we just inserted our picture. Once you insert your picture, you can change the size and do all that. It's kind of it's not in the cell. It's kind of just like a floating part. You can move it wherever you want in your document. So it kind of floats above. I might put it below. How about that? It should. You can also rotate it if you wanted to. I believe there's a way to rotate where you put your cursor above this little green dot. See a little green dot at the top? Woo, we can rotate it. There we go. Okay, it's like a little green dot right here. We'll be doing that with charts too. You can do the same thing with a chart. And things like that. There we go. There we go. That looks better. Okay, let's look at our sample. Grade report, school year. So we have school year, school, total school days. So let me print this out so I can look at it as I'm making this. Hold on. Let me print this out. Okay, so one of the things you see when you are making a spreadsheet is, we're trying to recreate something that looks like this. You'll notice some columns. Okay, we'll have some columns where things are aligned to the left. We'll have some columns where they're aligned to the right, and so on. In addition, you can have a line that goes across and things like that. So we're going to make something that looks like this. So let's start. First, let's put our school in there. So let's find a cell. I'm going to go over here to the middle, I'm going to start with C. I'm going to skip B for right now. I'm going to click on cell C, and let's put in a school name. What high school did we go to? Which one? Prospect? Del Mar? No, I'm going to put in Prospect. Again, if you want, you can put any high school you want in there. Again, if you want, you can either make the cell bigger, or you can make it wrap if you want. And you can change the size. You can make the cell bigger. I'm going to make the cell bigger. Is that printing over there? Slow. Oh, I said it and it started making a noise. Let's talk about moving. While this is printing out, let's talk about moving our cursor around. You notice I clicked in a cell to add data in the cell. But you can also use the arrows on the keyboard to go down. So look at your keyboard. Notice how I have this one selected. It says Prospect High School. I have C1. If I want to go down to C2, I can use the arrow on the keyboard. Look at your keyboard. You have these little arrows that are kind of towards the right side there. If I click down one, notice it goes down to C2. Okay? And we're going to type in academic school year, or just type in school year. I'm going to hit the arrow key again. Oh, it didn't go down, did it? Get it? There we go. School year. And what was the other school year? We have school year, total, next one, total school days. Then over here in D2, we're going to put in academic year 2015 to 2016, and total school days is 182. Okay, then we're going to talk about formatting. So again, you might have data So if you want, let's talk about alignment. In this case, we have school year and school days. And then you have data numbers here. Let's look at one thing that's different. As I move the column around here, notice how the 182, the digit I put in there is aligned to the right. But the words that I put over here is aligned to the left. So Excel by default tries to organize the data. It wants to, if it thinks it's a numeric or a number, it's going to align it to the right automatically. If it thinks it's text or data like this, it doesn't see as a numeric. Probably because it has the dash in there, right? There's a dash between school year. Oh, and it's, whoa, that's a long time ago. There we go. Okay, so if you want to align things differently, you can do that by using the alignment feature is right here. So let's say I want to take these two. I'm going to use the shift key. Again, I'm going to use the shift key. The shift key allows you to select more than one thing. What you don't want to do is drag. One of the biggest problems with Excel is dragging. Like if I wanted to select both of these two cells right here, if I tried to drag this over this, it just did that. That's not what I want. And we'll learn to autofill later. But if I want to select this one and this one, I'm going to hold the shift key down and select both of them. Then I'm going to go to this option right here that aligns them to the right here. See this option right here? I'm going to take these two data and I'm going to align them to the left. So things are nice and even right here. Did you see how I did that? Again, it's right here as the alignment features. I align these two to the left and these two to the right, and then these two to the left so that they're nice and even right in the middle. If you want the text to go across these two cells, look at this. I got C1 and D1. Do you see C1 and D1? I want the Prospect High School to kind of be above and between these two cells. You can merge cells together so that they're bigger, right? So right now I have C1 right here and D1 right here. I have two separate ones. If I hold the shift key down and select both of them, you'll notice there's a merge option right here. It'll bring them together into one. It's this option right here, merge. So if you have two cells and you want to merge them together into one cell, you can click on this one right here. It's called merge. Doesn't that look a little better, right? Doesn't it look better with the word going across? Nice and aligned. Okay, so you got all kinds of little features that allow you to make your spreadsheets look nice and organized. Alignment of text, keep things aligned. Merge cells so that text goes across two cells. Okay, you ready to move on? You guys have that? Yes? You got a question? What's that? Hold on a minute.
Zoom in.
Oh, zoom in a little. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the normal view. View. I think there's a way to zoom in. Zoom. How about that? Cool. Okay, everybody ready to move on? You guys got all the alignment and everything? Let's move on. Let's talk about adding or removing a column or row. Right now we have A, B, C, right? In between A, B has nothing in it. B has nothing in it. So if we want to remove B, we could click on B by clicking on the letter B at the top. You see that? I can click on B at the top up there. And over here on the right side, there's a delete option right here. If I click the, notice in the top right corner, there's one that says insert or delete. If I click the delete key, the B goes away. And, well, actually B shifted and the C became B, if that makes any sense. Did you see that? And that's why the text shifted over. If you want to insert one, is right here. You can insert and shift it back. Insert another one, shift it back. You can delete one and shift one. I'm going to actually leave one in there. I just wanted to point it out. I'm going to leave that B in there. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to go to C5 and I'm going to put in credits. Oops. In D5, I'm going to put in course. And E5, I'm going to put in grade. And that's it. Grade, like that. Credits, course, and grade.
You want all bold?
No, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I made this one all caps. For this one, I'm going to merge these cells together underneath there so I can put a line under there. Oh, actually, I'm going to put a line that goes all the way across. So I'm going to select F6 through C6. C6 through F6. Again, holding the Shift key down allows you to select more than one cell at a time. Shift key allows you to hold. And then what we're going to do is we're going to merge. And then we're going to put a line across here. If I can remember how to make a line.
Is it sparkling?
Where?
I'm not sure if it's the right one, but these are charts.
Yeah, I know there's a way to make a line. I just can't think about it right now. Under charts?
We'll go to charts.
No. Well, let's just color it in with some color. How about that? Woo! There we go. Color right there. Oh, here we go. Diagonal down border. Border, that's what I wanted. Border, bottom border. Maybe that's it. Did that make a line? Yeah, there's a line. It was under border. This one right here. I wanted to do a line. Actually, we could have done it right there. I should have done it right below these ones. I don't know why I made that. Let's move on. I'm dying here. I guess I could have just put it underneath each one of these. Let's see if that's better. Border, bottom. There we go. So I selected all of these and said border bottom. So I might get rid of what I just did here. Let's get rid of all of row 6. I'm going to delete all of row 6. Boom. There we go. Okay. So delete that row if you made the mistake like I did. Then select these ones right here. Select the ones you put the text in. So I put the text in there. I put the text in there. And then I did border bottom. Like that. Border bottom. Border bottom. And then if you have the blank ones, remember I merged them. You could just delete that whole row 6 and it'll go away. Okay, let's put in credits. This is going to be 1.00 credit. So we have algebra, English, biology, U.S. history, worldview, music, programming, and personal finance. So all of these courses are actually equal to, most of them are equal to 1.0. And notice it took away my 1.0. Did you notice that? Let me do it again. If I put 1.00 in there and I click off, look what it happens. It takes that 0.00 away. Did you see that? So if you click on it again, you can put those decimal points back. Right here is decimal points right here. So if I click on that, I can bring them back right here. This is add decimal points, remove decimal points. Add decimal points, remove decimal points. Did you see that right here? Okay. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to, yes?
Is it possible to shift rows up?
Shift rows up, yes. To shift a row. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way. What do you want to shift?
Never mind, I got it.
You got it? You guys are cool? 2 brains are better than 1, right? Okay. So let's do the autofill. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 classes are all 1.0 credit. So do autofill. You put your cursor along the bottom right here. See where my cursor is? And it turns right here at the 1.0. Do you see how it turns into like a double, double, double? 2 arrows. And I'm going to click and hold the mouse down. I'm going to drag down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. Try that. Called autofill. Again, let me do it again. I want to copy this number all the way down 6 rows. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Autofill. Yeah, let's put in some course names over here. This is gonna, right here is increased decimal, decreased decimal, increased decimal, decreased decimal. Okay, let's put in a course name. This one's algebra. Algebra 1. English, our favorite subject. Biology. This is U.S. history. World views. Whatever that is. This is music. Programming. And then the last one is personal finance. But that one is only a 0.5, a half a credit. There it is. Half a credit. Then under grade, this one's 92.73. This one is 48 or 84, I'm sorry. 91, 88, 98, 97, 96, and we'll just make this one up 70. I didn't do very good at personal finance. So put some grades in. Then this is going to be an A minus. This is a B. This is A minus, B, A plus, A, two A's, A, and then this is a C, C minus, whoosh. Okay, everybody got that in there? Yes?
Would your 88 be a B plus?
What's that?
Your 88 in U.S. history, would that be a B plus?
Yeah, that'd be a B plus, you're right. So take a minute and put all that data in there. Okay, here we go. So in this case, we want to do the total number of credits here. So we want to add all of these up. Anywhere down here is fine. So in this case, I'm going to select the cell that I want the formula to go into first. So I'm going to select this cell. Then I'm going to come up here. Formulas always start with what symbol? No, equal sign. And we want to do, I think it was equal sign, right? And we want to do sum of 6 to, hold on, I'm going to type it in, don't worry. We want to do C, what is this one? C13. And then let's hit, there we go. Okay, I'm going to do it again, don't worry. I had to think ahead here. Right, let me start over. Okay, so we're going to start with equal sign. Equal sign. Then we're going to type in the word sum, S-U-M, for sum. Equal sign, S-U-M. Then to put a group of columns, because we went basically this column right here to this column down here. We want to go from C6 to C13. We want to add all these up. So sum. Then we're going to do a round bracket, whatever that is. That what is that called? The round one? Round bracket. How about that? And we're doing, what did I say? C colon, put a colon, oh, C, I'm sorry. C colon 6, comma, C colon 13. and then another round bracket. After you put all that in there, you hit the little plus. There's or not a little plus. There's like a little checkbox right here where it says enter. Oops, I did it wrong, didn't I? What did I do wrong? I had it right the first time. Let me do it again. C6 to C. What did I do wrong?
There's no colon in there?
I think I did it wrong. No. I did it right the first time. That's right. No, there's no comma. It's a colon in between. Thank you. Yeah. C6 colon C13 round bracket. I can't make this any bigger. If I could, I would. So equal sign SUM round bracket C6 colon C13 round bracket. And then hit this checkbox. And so we get 7.5 credits. The checkbox is right here. It's like a little green little checkbox right there. And then below that, we'll put in the word total credits. There we go, total credits. Okay, now now comes the GPA, grade point average. Oof. So to get your GPA, how do we have to do a formula? We have to add them all up and then divide them by how many there are, right? No, I don't know how to do GPA. What formula? Okay, so again, this formula, we did equal, average, round bracket, E6, colon, E13, round bracket. And then hit the plus. Okay, let's save. Save. Whoosh. So let's do a little bit of alignment, and then we'll be pretty much done. This one I'm going to actually align. I'm going to align to the left a little bit. That looks oh no, that looks horrible. How about center? There we go. That might be better. Put the word letter grade above. Oops, letter grade above that. This one, we want to wrap that so the text wraps underneath. There we go. This maybe aligned to the right. This maybe aligned to the right. That looks a little better, right? Maybe we'll put a line underneath there. Remember how to put the line under there? Is the border right here is border. I'm going to say border bottom border. Bottom border. There we go. Puts a line under there. Maybe this one too. Bottom border. There we go. What else would make it look pretty? Got line here, line there.
Border at prospect.
Yeah, that might be nice. Maybe a border at the bottom of this. There you go. I don't think I'm getting into Berkeley with this G point. This G point. 89.959. Okay, does it look good? Okay, let's save it again. Save. Okay, let's talk about other formats of saving. So, in Excel, there's a couple things we want to talk about before we're done with this. One of them is printing out. It's kind of hard to print sometimes from Excel because the program's going to try and organize where the print is easy. So you might need to alter your print settings before you send it to the printer. Of course, the first thing that I would do is if I was going to send this to the printer, I'd probably print it out this way maybe, because it's more longer than it is high, right? So that is landscape mode, right? Portrait mode, landscape mode. You might want to print it out there. They also have a print option that allows you to draw the screens where you want to print. So if I want to print, let's say, the whole spreadsheet, this entire spreadsheet, I might select the first cell, hold the shift key down, and select the bottom cell here like that. So it tells Excel the cells I want to print out. So let's try that. Try selecting all of them. Again, using the shift key on the keyboard. I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to hold the shift key down, and I'm going to select this one down here. By selecting all the cells, it kind of tells Excel what you want to print out. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to the print options under File, Print Area, Set Print Area, and I don't know why it had this line here. We want it to be bigger. There we go. So again, it was under to set the print area is under Edit, Set Print Area, Set Print Area. If you set print area and you get a little dotted line, you might need to move it over. You see I got this little dotted line right here? It's kind of like your print area line. Next, you go under File, Print Area, Print. We want to do what? Oh, we wanted to do landscape, so let's change that again. So I'm going to go under File, Page Setup, and I'm going to change it to Landscape Mode. Landscape Mode. Landscape Mode. That was under Page Setup. So again, File, Page Setup, Landscape Mode. Now let me go under File, Print, and let's see. Oh, that looks a little better. It's a little small though. I guess it's big enough. Let's print it. I'm going to see what it comes out like. Try and print yours. Go ahead. You might need to change your print area so it prints on one page. Again, the print area is this dotted line. See it? It was under File, Print Area, Clear Print Area. Let's try again. Oosh. File, Print Area, Set Print Area. There we go. Again, to save as a PDF, it was under Save As. And I changed the format here to PDF right there. And then I saved it on the desktop. And let's go and look at it. So if I hide my Excel, underneath the Excel option here, you can say Hide Excel without having to leave. It's like the minimize, right? On Windows, you could minimize an application. So on a Mac, you can go under the name here and say Hide Excel. And let me hide this. Let me hide this. Let me hide this. And here it is on my desktop. If I open it up, it should open in preview, and you can see it right here. It's a PDF. If you don't want to open in preview and you actually want to open it in Acrobat, okay, you want to open it in Acrobat, you can actually, if you find a PDF, by default the Mac has this program called Preview that it uses to view a PDF. But if you really wanted to use Acrobat to view a PDF, you can right click on it and say Open With and then choose Acrobat. So on the Mac, you can right click on it and then say Open With if you want to use Acrobat. Now, And it'll open up Adobe Acrobat to display your PDF. What's the advantages of using Acrobat? Of course, you can make a PDF that has input fields for people to input data and things like that. So here it is. This would be the best way to send it to somebody if you want them to be able to just view it and not mess with the formulas or anything, right? Maybe you need to turn in a PDF to for your homework or something. Any questions? Yes?
After you save it in PDF, you cannot go back and edit it.
You wouldn't be able to edit this PDF. No, you got to save your Excel also. So always save 2 versions of everything. Don't just save as a PDF. It's just for display purposes only. Okay, everybody all right? You want to take a little break? Let's take a little break. We'll come back. We'll do something for a little bit longer, and then we'll go home. Yep.
Should we send it to you in the Dropbox?
I don't know. Let me go to Angel and see how I'm gonna organize it. I need to organize a little bit.
All right, and also just a heads up, I'm gonna try to make the Dropbox on that little like that tag